So apparently it is recording. I don't know if it's going to be recorded. So let's do the class anyway. We might lose this recording. If somebody else wants to record, they can record, I think. It's possible. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear, but we are seeing that live tag over there. I think it is recording.
Just in case somebody else is recording. So don't worry, I gave permission for somebody to record. Sorry for this long delay. Let's get to this class quickly. Okay. Where were we? Let me start with the prayers. Mahatma Paramagurudev, Mahatma Sadhguru, Maharshi Krishna Parabrahma, Maharshi Lakshmi Simha Parabrahma, Maharshi Lakshmi Hayadara Parabrahma, Mahatma Krishna. In the last class, if you remember, we gave 7 analogies or 9 analogies in the Chandogya Upanishad, which describes the portion called Tat Tvamasi. Tat Tvamasi is one of the Mahavakyas, the main sentences taken from Upanishads, and which is taken by Advaita tradition to be the central core philosophy. And according to them, we read the Shankara Bhashya also, which says Tattvamasi means basically you are that. You are that Brahman. That's what Uddalaka, the father in that Upanishad, tells this to his son Shvetaketu. So now the question comes up. We never really explained what exactly the Tat word means in Advaita, Tvam word means in Advaita, Asi means what? So according to Advaita, we need to understand what it is. Shankaracharya directly does not explain word by word meaning here. He gives just a summary that the Tat is pure, ever not bound consciousness. And so that is the word Tat according to Shankaracharya. That is common. But what happens is in the context of the Upanishad, Tat Aikshata, the word Tat Aikshata comes. That means that Tat, that entity, willed to be many, willed to create. So that willing is a conscious decision taken by that Tat to create. Such a decision cannot occur to a pure consciousness which is nirvishesha, or which has no attributes of any kind, attributeless, nirguna. If that is nirguna, such willing cannot occur. So that is why the Shankara tradition later on, the later Acharya said that Tat means Ishvara only. Tat has to refer to Ishvara because he creates. If it refers to Ishvara, then we have to remove the attributes of Ishvara there. That Tat, which is Ishvara, after removing the attributes of Sarvajnatva, or the attributes of he is all powerful, all knowing, omniscient, and all those things. If you remove those attributes, because these attributes are not originally of that Nirguna Brahma, so that Tat, which is Nirguna Brahma, which is actually Ishvara minus Ishvara attributes, is same as you. Who is the you here? Shvetaketu, who is listening. All of us, jivas. And jiva, then when you say, how can jiva, which is ignorant or stuck in maya, stuck in problems, be same as the Nirguna Brahman? What he says that Ishwar, you, if you remove the attributes of jiva, like alpajnatva, that is knowing little in life, confused, stuck in matter, having a lot of issues, remove all the limitations of jiva, then what is underlying truth is that Nirguna Brahman. So Nirguna Brahman is same as Nirguna Brahman. That is what is the meaning of Tattvamasi according to Advaitins. So what it means is Ishvara, who is the creator, who is essentially Nirguna Brahman, who appears to be the creator because of Maya, is the same as Jiva, who is actually Nirguna Brahma, but because of Maya and individual adjuncts like individual mind, individual body, mind, body, intellect, which is known as Antahkarana. Because of the Antahkarana, they are known as Jivas, but they are reflections of that one Brahman. So the Brahman in Jiva, Brahman there as original, all these are one. That is the meaning, word by word meaning given in the Advaita roughly, here and there. I'm not taking every word and quoting it from kind of an Advaita text. So don't. This is the essence. It's not wrong. But if you go to the textbook, maybe slight here and there small differences may occur. But I'm not quoting any text at this point. So the Dvaita people have given their view of the 9 analogies. So last class, we summarized the 9 analogies, the analogies of the bee, the honey taken from different trees, and the analogy of the rivers joining the ocean, the analogy of a single seed giving rise to a huge tree, which is known as a banyan tree, just for example, with all the variety in the banyan tree. So all these different examples were given, and Shankaracharya basically refers all these analogies to the truth is only Nirguna Brahman. All else is false. All else is illusory, which comes up due to some unexplainable, inexplicable Maya, which affects individuals, affects this global universal projection of this and all the interactions with the world or universe. So the thing is, now let us try to understand why does Dvaita Acharya, Madhvacharya, how does Madhvacharya differ in the interpretations of the 9 analogies given in the original Upanishad. Okay. So I will check, I will read it from the Bhashya of Madhva Bhashya, basically. And do I have that ready? Chandogya Upanishad. I did not. Okay. I can start looking at it here. Or I'll simplify this without referring to the text. I would advise you, if you want to go into details, you can get the Madhva Bhashya original in the anandamakaranda.co.in. There, I think you can get the Sanskrit originals, and you can go figure out some books which can explain to you in English Chandogya Upanishad of Madhvacharya. I think one of the, if you Google, you can find a book from Srisha Chandra Vasu and several other people. Now, first analogy is about how different, the bees go to different trees and bring the pollen and everything like that, and assembles them and puts together and makes honey in the honeycomb. But once you look at the honey, you really don't know where, which tree, what portion came from which tree. Similarly, they say, so when somebody goes to deep sleep, they don't know who they are. They don't know where they came from, but they go to deep sleep and come back. In deep sleep, they rest in Sri Hari, the Lord, according to Dvaita. While in deep sleep, they are not recognizing the differences between themselves and other people, as well as themselves and Sri Hari. They're just merged into Sri Hari while they go to deep sleep. This is according to Madhvacharya. So, as long as they are not recognizing the difference between themselves and Sri Hari, they are deluded. As long as they are deluded, they will come back and become the same old people, same old entities. This is the Upanishad continues here. Sorry, the Upanishad continues here and says, Ta iha vyagro va simho va vruko va varaho va kito va. So if a lion goes and sleeps, because lion doesn't recognize itself different from Hari during the deep sleep, it will come back as lion when it wakes up. So the thing is, so do the worms and human beings and animals of different kind. They go sleep, they don't recognize the difference, they come back. So that is the way. So in general, I should say, Madhvacharya emphasizes Bheda or differences all the time. He says that there is always difference between Jiva and Ishvara, between any being here and the Lord Hari. There is always a difference. This difference cannot be dissolved in any state. Even in deep sleep, it is like as if it is dissolved, but it is not really dissolved. The differences still exist. But if people don't recognize the difference, that is due to ignorance. And they have, that is why they keep on getting the bodies of these different animals and things like that. So they go back to, even death is like that. When in death they meet Hari and they just become pretty much one with Hari in a way, but they don't recognize the difference between Hari and themselves. So after death, they have to come back to a different life. Similarly, here, Saya Esho Adima, Itadatmyam Vidam Sarvam, Tat Satyam, Sa Atma, Tatvamasi Shveta Keto. All this, basically, Sa Atma, Tatvamasi Shveta Keto, they don't take it in the Advaita way. The Dvaitins break it into Sa Atma, A Tatvamasi Shveta Keto. A means you are not that Ishvara. You don't be proud and hot-headed. You are not that Ishvara. You are a servant of the Ishvara. That is what each analogy is telling, according to Dvaita, according to Madhvacharya. Again, the question comes up. So I didn't understand properly. Again, tell what this is. Then, what do you call it? He gives another analogy. Look at the rivers, the Ganges, the Ganga, the Yamuna. All these rivers join the ocean in Bay of Bengal or something, right? But once they join the ocean, they don't realize whether they are, they will just realize that they are ocean. But really speaking, they don't realize where they came from, or whether this is Ganges water or this is Yamuna water. But don't you think there is truly there is a difference? Typically, if you put a radio isotope or something, you'll be able to tag the molecules of water coming from Ganges River as well as from the Yamuna River, and you will be able to separate them out scientifically if you want to, right? So the thing is, but it is unknown according to what do you call, ordinary people don't see the difference. In once the rivers join, they think that there's only one ocean. But they don't realize the different rivers inside the ocean. But a brilliant person can find. Similarly, Madhvacharya gives a slightly different analogy here. Yamuna is taken as the Yamuna Adi Devata, Abhimani Devata. Yamuna, according to Madhvacharya, is just not a river. There is a lady who is a spiritual, divine lady called Ganga, who is the Adi Devata or the ruling goddess of that river. Similarly, Yamuna has a ruling goddess, Abhimani Devata, and that Devata's name is Yamuna. So, according to Madhvacharya, how did Ganges come? Ganga come? She was a divine lady up in the heaven, and due to some issues, she came down, and Shiva had to catch her in his mats hair, right? All these things are in the Purana. Taking that kind of a view, Madhvacharya says that these are divine devatas, but once they join the ocean, obviously there is a difference between these devatas. These devatas are not one and the same. These goddesses are different, but they don't. Ordinary person do not recognize. A knowledgeable person recognizes. As long as you don't recognize the difference between different beings and Lord Hari, you will come back to the same old bodies or different bodies due to karmas. Again, next, what do you call the tree analogy? If you cut one branch of the tree, that branch dies. If you cut another branch of the tree, that dies. You have to cut all the branches to make the tree die. That is the analogy given there. Here, the death is for the tree bark and the tree, right? The death is for the tree, not the Atma or the soul or Jivatma of the tree. Right? Jivatma, so even a tree has life, and that has a Jivatma, according to Vedic philosophy. So what Madhvacharya says is there is a difference between the Jivatma and the body of the Jivatma, which is the tree. 1 second. So as long as people don't recognize the difference between body, Jivatma, and Hari, who is the inner controller of all these, they will come back to their different forms of life. Another analogy is about the seed analogy. Seed is so small and there's pretty much nothing in this seed. But when you put the seed in the ground and then supply all the constituents like water, minerals, and all, it grows up to a big, huge tree. So in the seed stage, people don't see all the constituents there. That is, there is a jivatma. If it's a mango seed, there will be a mango jivatma there, and there will be a paramatma or hari who is inside the jivatma, controlling the jivatma and monitoring everything. So all these are unknown in the seed stage, but only when it becomes a tree, you see so many different varieties. So as long as people don't recognize the difference, they get into trouble. Similarly, all these things are like that. Lavana meta dusike, you put salt into water. Once the salt is dissolved, you don't see the salt separately. But there is a difference. So in a subtle state, you don't know the difference between Jiva, Paramatma, and the universe in a subtle state. So Paramatma is not seen in this world properly. Paramatma is hidden in this universe, controlling everything. An atom, an electron, everything is being controlled. Everything that you're not responsible for, he is responsible for. He is responsible for the operation of your brains, nervous system, the blood and heart and everything like that. You're not responsible for it. So he is making everything happen. But he is not seen. Just like how you don't see a salt separate from water once it is dissolved. So as long as you know the difference, you are a jnani. So this again, there is an analogy about the Gandhara Desha. We talked about Kandahar, which is in Afghanistan. The Gandhara Desha is mentioned in this Upanishad. So there, a person can be lost there in the Ganga, in that region. His eyes are tight. He cannot see. If somebody helps him out and gives some directions, he can use the direction given by an educated person, that is a guru, and then get back to his home. So similarly, you need a guru or upadesha. You cannot understand the details. You need a teacher. So he needs the help of teacher. He also needs the help of God, Hari, who blesses him to get the right teacher. There may be wrong teachers, so he has to get the right teacher. And he has to get the right, he has to understand what the teacher is saying. All these things are supported by Hari, who is the controller everywhere. As long as he doesn't get a teacher, he will be bound in the samsara. That is the idea here. And so you are not that person. Sa Atma Atatvamasi Shweta Keto. You are not that Hari. And 1 second, please. Now he talks about the Maranavastha. Maranavastha means stage of death, where the relatives come and say, do you recognize me? Do you recognize me? The person doesn't recognize. Slowly, his speech and mind and everything are absorbed into his breath, and the breath is absorbed into Hari at death. So here, in general, in Madhvacharya philosophy, he brings in the concept of Abhimani Devata. Are you clear about this concept called Abhimani Devata? Everybody? Anybody?
Yes, Swami.
No questions, right? You understand what Abhimani Devata is?
The ruling god
But
of
that deity which is more likable to you is Abhimani Devata, is it?
No. Not likable to you. You are talking Ishta Devata. Ishta Devata means you meditate or you pray to the type of Devata you like. That is different. Abhimani Devata. What is Abhimani Devata?
Don't know.
is it the self, the entity, the ruling god of whatever entity we're talking about?
Correct. The ruling, see, when they say the dead man does not speak, he cannot speak. That means what? Vak Abhimani Devata. According to Madhvacharya, there is a god, a goddess of Vak. Okay? That Vak is supported by the goddess. If that goddess does not permit, this person cannot speak. Like that, mind has Abhimani Devata. If the mind is not blessed by that Abhimani Devata, the mind cannot work. That person can get mad or something like that.
Swami,
Vak Abhimani Devata, according to Madhvacharya, is Uma Devi. Uma is the wife of Shiva, or she is Parvati. Similarly, Mano Abhimani, the mind is controlled by Rudra, Shiva. And Prana Abhimani Devata is breath. Breath Abhimani Devata is Vayu Deva, the wind god. So, Tejo Abhimani Devata. Tejo Abhimani, Teja is the energy or the inner light, whatever. And that the Abhimani Devata or the controlling goddess is Sridevi or Lakshmi. So the thing is, when all these things reside, or what do you call the right word is, they dissolve into what the speech, the mind, and speech, mind, breath, everything will dissolve into Hari. When death occurs, everything will go and they tightly embrace Hari.
Swami, a question here.
Uh-huh.
Swami, all these devatas and what you are describing now is on the basis of Puranas, right?
Not necessarily. There are Vedic, Rigveda. See, it comes from different sources. So not only Puranas. But in one way, Madhvacharya takes a lot from Puranas. He takes from special, some particular special text called the Brahma Tarka and other things like that. So, not true. Exactly what you're saying is not perfectly right.
Okay, Swami.
Is Abhimani Devata specific only for Dvaita? I think even both Vishtadvaita and Advaita also accept, right?
Yeah, they accept. But the thing is, the Madhva philosophy bring out the Abhimani Devata explicitly in special, when they interpret Shrutis and all, they bring out very powerfully. See, you got to understand the Devata Taratamya or hierarchy of Devatas is very pronounced in Dvaita theory. They are absolutely different, right? Indra is different from, some Gandharva, Varuna, Rudra. All these are very different hierarchical deities according to Dvaita. And their differences will never be dissolved. They're eternally different. Like how there are 33 classes of different jivas, right? 32 or 33 classes of jivas, like that. And so Lakshmi is the highest after Hari. And everybody else is Aswatantra, or they are dependent. And Hari is the only independent.
Is Lakshmi Jiva according to Madhva Bhasha?
We have to take it, yeah, we have to take it as Jiva in the Madhva Sampradaya. Yes. Okay. So what so the thing is, when people, suppose the person is dying, ordinary person, when they look at it, they will say, oh, he's not able to speak, oh, he's not able to think, he's not able to recognize me. They can say different things. Or when they bring their hands close to the nose and say, oh, he's not breathing. You can say all these external things. But what truly is happening is the different devatas, the Abhimani devatas, are taking back their powers. They are not blessing the person to continue, because they take back and they go and dissolve into Hari in a way, rest in Hari in a way. All the differences between all this divine play, which is happening behind the scenes, is unknown to the ignorant person. The truly knowledgeable person knows that all these devatas exist, and the differences between all these devatas are concrete and clear and eternal. Once he knows that, Only independent person is Hari. This is known to the knowledgeable person, not the ordinary person. So as long as once that person gets all this knowledge by the divine grace of Hari, this person can be released from samsara, released from the turmoils of this existence and cycle of birth and death. Similarly, in the next what do you call analogy, they talk about this is some kind of a mythological analogy. What it says, what it says in this analogy, what happens is if somebody says the lies, somebody does not say the truth. Then if he touches a fire or a hot red hot iron or something, his hands won't be burnt if he's truthful, but his hands will be burnt if it is untruthful. So this is a test. In the long way back, they were doing this, and maybe not in this existence, some other land, some other loka, some other yuga, maybe it worked, because the truth would protect a person. This analogy is given here. So the satya or the truth is the kavacha. Kavacha is covering, like having a heat-proof glove. So when you touch hot substance, your glove will take the heat and you will not feel the heat. Similarly, the truth will protect people. That is given as an analogy. So as the analogy is basically say is we are understanding untruth. What is untruth? That I am independent, I can do whatever I want to do, and nobody controls me. I control myself. Where is Hari? Hari doesn't exist. This kind of a ignorant view is there. As long as we accept untruth, we suffer by coming back to the continued existence in the cycle of births and deaths and experiencing sorrow and different problems. But once you know the truth, that Hari, the truth is same as Hari. Hari will protect you eventually. So this is the summary. So Madhvacharya basically what he is saying, he is highlighting the differences and he is ignoring the ekatva. What do you call? Suppose wherever there is a reference between the ocean is one, he doesn't agree with it. He says that one is just apparently one ocean, but it is made of so many different rivers. So he says that the truth is difference, not the oneness. The oneness is just apparent, according to Madhvacharya. This is his view of taking the entire Chandogya Upanishads. No doubts, everything clear?
For me,
Yes.
at what duration did Madhvacharya say this? In 14th century, is it?
13th century, I think.
And this was in opposition to Advaita view, is it?
Yeah, fundamentally, Madhvacharya did not like Advaita views. Advaita interpretations he did not like.
Okay.
See, we need to understand here some approach differences. It's all reconcilable. Madhvacharya says bhakti is important. Devotion to the Lord, service to the Lord, worship of the Lord is very important. Only when you worship, you will get jnana. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattataha. The thing is, true knowledge is available only when somebody has bhakti, because only with the grace of Hari you can get knowledge. Vishate tadarantaram, the Bhagavad-Gita says, once you get knowledge, after knowing exactly what that Paramatma is, you will enter into a Paramatma. Vishate means pravishati, enter. that entering, what do you call, Vishate Tadanantara. So the person enters into Paramatma. So the thing is, after entering, what happens? The what do you call Madhvacharya theory is there also there is difference. Why did you will not know about it now? Only when you go there, you will know whether there is difference or not, right? For ordinary person. What I'm trying to say here is Madhvacharya focuses on bhakti. Bhakti requires multiplicity, difference between the beggar and the rich person, the a person with less knowledge and more knowledge. As long as there is difference, you have respect and bhakti and worship possible. So Madhvacharya focuses on this. Shankaracharya focuses on the goal, on the final goal. Well, is the final goal? Madhvacharya even disagrees. Just a second. One second, please. So, if there's any kind of identity of oneness or something like that, Madhvacharya shies away from it. So, it is more sadhana focused, path focused. Shankaracharya is goal focused. He doesn't even care about anything. He goes all the way to Vaikuntha. When everything is released, you go to Vaikuntha. There is Salokya, Samipya, Sarupya, Sayujya, all different levels of Vaikuntha. Even after that, you will go close to Paramatma. You will be on the thigh of Paramatma. And then you will ask Paramatma. Paramatma asks you, who are you? As explained in the Kaushitiki Upanishad. The person should say, according to Kaushitiki Upanishad, yes, Tvamasi, Soham Asmi. Whoever you are, I am that person. That is what the Jivatma says there. What does it mean? The other acharyas maintain the difference, saying that whoever you are my inner controller. That's the way the other acharyas like Dvaita and Vishishadvaita acharyas explain. And the Advaita acharya says, whoever you are, that is the same as me. So the thing is, there is only one thing called Paramatma, and the rest are illusory in the sense that they are all superimposed. So everybody knows this superimposition is not simple. Okay, but just approach these three acharyas approach the Upanishadic statements in different ways, and don't ever think that Madhvacharya does not know Sanskrit properly. That is why he didn't understand the Upanishads properly. These kind of Sanskrit problems are not acceptable. Madhvacharya justifies all his stands. Only thing is Madhvacharya uses certain references from Brahma Tarka and different things which are unknown to the other acharyas, or other acharyas have never referred to it. So there is difference of approach, but there is no Sanskrit problem. And this is, so Atma, Atatvamasi. He broke it as Atatvamasi, such a wrong Sanskrit grammar. Don't say that. He is fully protected grammar-wise. He is also protected by the Itihasa Purana statements and from special sources like Brahmatarka and all. He has support. So the whole thing is they are all focused on bhakti, devotion to a Lord who is all powerful with all the auspicious kalyana gunas, auspicious qualities. That's the idea. Do you understand?
I have one question. I have one question.
Yeah.
See, all the Upanishads, all the way acharyas believe that everything has come from the one source, that is Parabrahman. So when we have come, everything has come from it. We are part and parcel of it. Why can't it be accepted that we will become one with that? Because the source is same for everybody. Because everything has come from that particular source. It should go unto the source only at the end. No, it should end in the source only.
Yeah, I understand your question. See, what happens is the Madhvacharya's view is a common person cannot understand this complex issue as we came from God, but now we are different. Now I am ignorant. I have a sickness. My mind is not working. I have running temperature. I have disease and all those things. We're in this kind of situation. So what Madhvacharya says is, for an ordinary person, you can never recognize the oneness of God, that the true knowledge that Ishvara is, that there is only one entity. That is not understandable by ordinary person. And that person, if suppose if I and Krishna are same, I and Hari is same, will I really have respect for Hari? In fact, in
No,
Shankara Bhashya, one second.
that we understood.
In Shankara Bhashya, see here and there, what do you call, yes, so hamasmi in the Ishavasya Upanishad, when Shankaracharya explains, I am not begging you, Agninaya Supata Raye Asman, and also Pushan Ekarshe Yamasurya Prajapatya Vyuha Rashmin. In those last 3 or 4 shlokas of Ishavasya Upanishad, which has only 18 shlokas, Shankaracharya says, I am not begging you. You and I are same. He says that. So here and there in Shankara
That means that he is confident about that. He knows that. That's why one comes with that words.
The thing is, that comes to a very, very, very knowledgeable person.
That is true.
Not a person stuck in matter. Not a
That is
person.
true.
Not a person who is a day worker, he runs a small auto, or he's a, what do you call, some laborer or somebody who says that, oh, my boss is going to give me money. These people are living at a low level, and anybody with ignorance, they will not understand. First of all, human beings don't even understand the problems they have in their lives or their own karmas. See, suppose somebody offends somebody ill-treats somebody refuses, snatches money from somebody. What will ordinary person think? Oh, that guy, he came and stole my my possessions, stole my ring, stole my chain, stole my home, whatever it is. They don't even understand their own karmas come in the form of external forces to give them sukha and dukkha. So how do they understand?
That's true.
How do they understand complex things that, oh, I am Brahman. Oh, what are you? Today I am begging. I lost my job. My children are waiting and they don't even have food on the table. How do I go beg and get some food so that my children are fed? People are in
But
this.
all these advices are not for that miserable person who doesn't understand anything.
Yeah.
He basically doesn't know anything.
See, what Madhvacharya says is, even for a very, very educated guy, educated person, they can go astray. Their knowledge will be withdrawn by the by any kind of wrongdoings they are doing. Even a great Vishwamitra was dissuaded by a beautiful Apsara, right? So what is the chance for an ordinary person? He says, ordinary person has so much of ignorance, he should never be given the idea of Advaita. That is why Madhvacharya went to the extreme extent, saying that if you learn Advaita, if you think about Advaita, you are destroyed. Your true devotion to the Lord will go away. Don't lose bhakti. If you lose bhakti, you will lose jnana also. So that is why Bhagavata and other Puranas highlight the value of bhakti. So this is only an approach difference between the acharyas. That is my acharya's conclusion. My great gurus, my acharyas, Sri K.S.V. Swami and his gurus, they realize that these acharyas are not different. They are catering to different type of
persons.
That's all.
Swami, one follow-up question. So the goal as defined by the Advaita viewpoint is more like Jivan Mukti, right? Freedom while living, right? Does the Dvaita view and Vishishta Dvaita view accept that?
Yeah, they accept Jivan Mukti. For a very, very, very profound devotee and jnani, they can have Jivan Mukti. That is just a state. See, the problem in the Dvaita Sampradaya is the term Jivan Mukti is not acceptable to them. See, you are living, that means what? You are connected with your breath and body. As long as you eat one morsel of food, the devatas are helping you in the world even to digest that one morsel of food. Agni is trying to help you here and all those things. You are taking help of the environment and the devatas. So in that sense, you are not released. Mukta state can come only after death, according to the Dvaita Acharyas. And what Advaita proposes is, while here itself you can have complete release. And they also accept that the body continues due to karmas, prarabdha karmas. But the person is not attached to body at all. They just maintain a state called Jivan Mukti. All of them accept Jivan Mukti as a state. Even Dvaita Acharyas accept the state, but they don't accept the terminology Jivan Mukti. It is like, released while bound. That doesn't make sense. That is the only terminology fight. There is not a big issue here.
And the concept is same that the Sanchita karma, the other karmas go off, and Prarabdha, like you said, remains until
Yeah.
they reach moksha.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is not a difficult issue at all. Okay. Why don't we do one thing? Today what I have completed is only the analogies given by Dvaita, or how the Dvaita only highlights the differences in the analogy. And Dvaita, Champakamami brought a very good point there. That is, we all come from one. Why don't we accept it? There comes the very fundamental idea of upadana karanatva, or material causality. We came from one Atman. Tasmad Atmana Akasha Sambhutaha. Even all the matter starting from Akasha. Prithivya, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha is the five wind, fire, all these are five aspects of matter. Even the first subtle matter called the space, Akasha, came from Paramatma, Atma. So, everything came from Atma. But what happens is Madhvacharya takes it differently. No, take it this way, that the Prakriti, or the root cause of all matter, is dependent on Hari. But the Prakriti is never same as Hari. So do not have causality relationship between Prakriti and Hari. Prakriti, Hari coexisted because of the will of Hari, because also Hari is the inner controller of Prakriti. So take it that way. Don't take Upadana Karana or material causality here. Why Madhvacharya wants to avoid anything which will affect a common man's devotion to the Lord. It's easy to, when differences are there, it's easy to support bhakti. That's all.
One more thing, Krishna. To run this world, Bhagavan has to have the complete details of all the Jivatmas, everything.
Sure.
So, at least from the Bhagavan point of view, there is no Advaita actually.
See, please note how the term Advaita is taken in Madhu Bhashya and other Bhashyas. Dvaita means two separate independent entities according to Madhvacharya. Advaita means there is no two separate independent existing realities. There is only one independent reality. That is Advaita for Madhvacharya. Okay. So it's just the way the terms are understood differently. According to Advaita, The word Advaita or the term Advaita means there is no second entity. And Dvaita means it is, if at all we see differences here, that is illusory because of some basic fundamental illusion, according to Advaita. That's all. Two approaches. You know, in front of us, I may be an Advaiti, Dvaiti, Vishtadvaiti, it doesn't matter. In front of us, reality is common, right? We have the same process of birth, death, same process of how the science appears to us, how the physics appears to us, all the experiments we do, these are all common for all people. It's just the approach taken by each person to understand things, that's all. Okay?
I had one question
Quick.
regarding the states of deep sleep and death, whether those are defined the similar way in all the three branches of Vedanta, that is Advaita, Dvaita, and Vishishtadvaita.
They have slightly different views, that's all. They're slightly different views. All of them slightly. Even in Advaita, one or two, for example, when there's a deep sleep, some people say there is a Mula Vidya, still there is some illusion there. And some people in Advaita say there is no illusion, you will become one with God, and that is the state of Brahman. So there is also one other view there. So like that, Advaita itself has different views on deep sleep and this one. So the other acharyas also have a little bit different views on deep sleep. That's a large subject, and in the Upanishad it comes up.
Okay, then I had one confusion on whether that reaching Parabrahman at death, whether it is this physical death or the cessation of all the sheets of these, like all the koshas.
Physical death.
Physical. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, then today we'll stop and we'll continue in the next Gita class. Tomorrow there will be Upanishad class at the same time, roughly 6:30 a.m. Roughly 24 hours we'll have Upanishad class, Kena Upanishad class. Okay. Namaskar. Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Nrsimha Parabrahmane Namaha. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Next time I'll make sure my the video is working properly.